You're talking to someone, the conversation flows, you make plans. Then, nothing. Silence. You've been left on red, rereading the chat like a detective solving a crime with no clues. If you've wondered what happened, let's get this straight. It had little to do with you and everything to do with them. We're breaking down the psychology of why people ghost, but forget the excuses. This is the raw truth of why someone vanishes instead of acting like an adult. Before you spiral wondering, was it something I said? Understand this. The confusion and self-doubt are intentional. It's a feature of their cowardice. Being ghosted feels like a personal attack, but you're trying to find logic in profound disrespect. It's like asking why a broken vending machine stole your dollar. It didn't, it's just broken. The person who ghosts you isn't making a statement about your value, they're showing their lack of character. Get that into your head. Now let's dive into the why. I've seen a few key patterns that explain this behavior. The most obvious reason is pure cowardice disguised as avoidance. They can't handle a 2-minute conversation because it might be uncomfortable. So they'd rather inflict weeks of confusion on you than face 30 seconds of awkwardness themselves. It's the emotional equivalent of a hit and run. They cause the damage and speed off. This isn't avoiding distress. It's a total failure of moral courage. Second, they're terrified of things getting real. The moment a connection deepens, they vanish. It's a self-destruct button. For them, real intimacy isn't a goal. It's a threat that triggers a panic response. They're not scared of your feelings. They're scared because they are fundamentally unequipped for an adult relationship. They want the idea of a connection, not the reality of one. Then there are those with a total lack of empathy. They don't understand, or more likely don't care, how their actions affect you. You're not a person, but an experience that stopped being entertaining. A client of mine got ghosted after a few dates. A month later, she messages him, "Hey stranger." When he asked why she disappeared, her excuse was, "Oh, I was just busy." She didn't grasp that her busyness left him feeling disrespected. To her, he was just an app she hadn't opened in a while. It's a delusion that has become normalized. You'll also hear the ridiculous excuse that people ghost to spare your feelings. Let's translate. It's a lie they tell themselves to sleep at night. They believe disappearing is kinder than saying, "I'm not feeling a connection." This is the ultimate patronizing cowardice. They decide for you that you're too fragile for the truth, giving you the gift of confused silence instead. It's not a favor, it's profoundly selfish. It's like a surgeon ghosting the family after an operation. Finally, people ghost because they have no script for decency. And why would they? We live in a world where respectful endings are the exception. Dating apps create an illusion of infinite choice and disposable people. Why learn to have a tough conversation when you can unmatch and swipe in seconds? There's no social cost, no accountability. It's a game where the quit button has no penalty. People have been taught a script isn't necessary. Disrespect is the default setting, so you've been ghosted. What now? You do a cost-benefit analysis and you move on. Here's how. First, stop lying to yourself. Stop thinking you weren't good enough. That's the story they want you to believe because it absolves them. Their behavior reflects their issues, not your worth. Think of it like a business venture that turned out to be fraud. You don't blame yourself for being robbed. You acknowledge the loss and stop investing in fraudulent companies. Their ghosting isn't a verdict on you, it's a confession about them. Second, forget closure. Needing them to give you a reason is a trap that keeps you emotionally tethered to someone who left. You don't need their permission to move on. Their silence is the closure. It's the answer. The answer is, I lack the character to give you a real one. Process it by telling a friend or writing a letter and burning it. You don't get closure from a ghost, you exercise it yourself. Finally, connect with people who actually value you. Your friends, your family. People who won't just vanish. Friendships are crucial because we have to rely on each other. Ghosting makes you feel isolated. The antidote is surrounding yourself with your team. They remind you that you are not disposable, even if one person treated you that way. With them, effort equals reward. So, to put it all together, ghosting isn't a mystery. It's a symptom of a culture that champions cowardice and low empathy. It's a strategy used by people who can't handle confrontation, fear intimacy, or just don't respect you. The emotional fallout is real, but see it for what it is, a data point on their character. Being ghosted is not a reflection of your worth. It's a filter. It filters out people who aren't ready for a real relationship. It filters out the cowards. And in that sense, it's a good thing. If you've got a ghosting story, drop it in the comments. Let's be honest about what's really going on out there. And if you found this useful, you know what to do. Remember, being alone isn't the worst outcome. Being with someone who doesn't value you is. That's not loneliness, it's freedom.